FPL Gameweek 16 team selection. What is up, everyone? How's it going? FPL here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. We're finally back to the normal schedule after work took over the last few game weeks. Another green arrow in Gameweek 15, which is always nice to see. I've got 3 free transfers to use ahead of Gameweek 16. Probably looking to use the 3 of them to get a certain Egyptian king back into the team. I'm sure you all know by now the mystery chip has been announced, so we're going to take a closer look into that and when I'm actually looking to use the chip also. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I fared out in Gameweek 15, and we're also going to look at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of the Gameweek 16 deadline. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. So before we get into today's video, quick reminder as always to give the video a like. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video. So head on down there, give the video a like, and if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you at? Head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. The main goal before Christmas was to hit 7k. We've already passed that, and we've already gained 100 subs since the start of December. Maybe we could hit 7,250 subs before Christmas. So if you haven't subbed already, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel, and help me on my way to passing that milestone. So here's a quick look back to Gameweek 15. I scored 59 points of the week. It was a bit of a mixed week for the team, but we did get a green arrow, so I can't complain on that. We're now sitting at 122k overall, so hopefully we can get close to the top 100k before Christmas. Just 2 game weeks to go, but it is very much in our sights. We started off on Saturday. Liverpool and Everton were called off, so it probably pushed me into my first big mistake of the season. I thought it was worth the risk. I took out Mo Salah, brought in Bukayo Saka. That made me lose 0.3 on Salah. Brought in Saka. I thought he was going to return in that Fulham game. Unfortunately, he didn't, but he did have a goal ruled out in the last minute in that game. So it could have paid off. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. I do have to bring Salah back into the team this week. And then on Saturday also, our captain Erling Haaland over Palmer. Haaland did score at least in that Crystal Palace game. Probably should have scored twice. But then on Sunday, Palmer scored twice and assisted once for a monster 18-point haul. And that made me miss out on an extra 11 points. And if I got that extra 11 points, I'll be well inside the top 100k now. Going through the rest of the team, it was finally great to see Brian and Wemo come away with a big haul after some disappointing blanks over the last few weeks. However, that goal and assist is probably going to be a parting gift with some difficult fixtures for Brentford over the festive period, and the fact I do need a route back to Salah in midfield. The rest of the games on Saturday and Sunday were very much disappointing. No returns, and especially that Arsenal game on Sunday. As I said, I took out Salah, brought in Saka. Thought it was a risk worth taking, especially as I only had Diblin coming in if Salah was out with that everything game called off. However, Saka blanked in that game, scored the same points as Diblin, so it was definitely a mistake there. Shouldn't have made that transfer, as I now have to rectify that transfer, bringing Salah back in this week. But to be fair, would I do it again? Probably. Saka easily could have returned. He did have that goal ruled out. He would have been on for 10 points if he did get that goal, and I would have been saying something else. However, looking at Gabriel, left out of the squad completely. We still haven't got an injury update from Arteta about him, and he has been left out of the Champions League squad last night. So big question marks around his fitness at this weekend, and I have some decisions to make what to do with him. On to Monday's night game, Cunha picked up a yellow card and failed to return once again. That's 3 blanks in his last 3 games, but Aït-Nouri was the star of the night after he picked up an assist when he set up Matt Doherty for Wolves' only goal. All in all, 59 points of the week. Wasn't a bad week at all. We did get a green arrow, an 8k green arrow, and now sitting at 122k overall, so can't complain too much. But if I did captain Cole Palmer, I'd be well inside the top 100k, so it's a bit annoying about that. But sure, look, a green arrow is a green arrow. We've got some decisions to make around Erling Haaland, Brian Mbeumo, Gabriel, and how we're going to get Mo Salah back into the team. So let's move on now and have a look at how I'm shaping up ahead of this weekend's deadline. Right then, the big news this week was the fact that the mystery chip has finally been revealed. It's called the Assistant Manager chip, and for the first time in FPL history, you can own an actual Premier League manager in your FPL team that will score you points. It's available to use from Gameweek 24 onwards, and once it's activated, the chip itself lasts 3 consecutive weeks, and once it's in play, you can't use any other chip. So say for example, I activate my Assistant Manager chip in Gameweek 24, I can't use my triple captaincy chip in Gameweek 25, or my free hit in Gameweek 26 for example. I have to wait until those 3 consecutive game weeks are over before I can play any other chip. Era, how do I score points in FPL, I hear you ask? Well then, at 6 points per win, 3 points per draw, an extra point per goal scored over these games, and an extra point per clean sheet got. Also, if you own a manager that plays a team ranked 5 places above them in the league, the points get boosted to 10 points per win and 5 points for a draw. The managers in the game are also going to cost us money. They're going to be range in price between 0.5 to 1.5 million. And unfortunately, we don't get any extra budget. So looking back at that Mo Salah transfer I made last week, taking him out of the team, I lost 0.3 of a million, taking him out. And that's even more of a big mistake with the fact that we don't get any extra budget for these managers with the assistant manager chip. With this chip also, managers also count towards the 3 per club rule. So for example, if I want to get Slot in my team, I can't have 3 other Liverpool players in my team. I can only have Salah and Trent to allow Slot to come into the team to get some points from him. And also to finish off, managers also count towards transfers in the game. So that's probably a big reason why FPL gave us 5 transfers at the start of the season. With the assistant manager chip, you can also transfer one manager to another manager. So say for example, if I activate the chip in Gameweek 24 and I bring in Slot, I can then go from Slot to Guardiola in Gameweek 25 and then Guardiola to Arteta in Gameweek 26. Only if you want to. You can obviously keep Slot for the 3 consecutive weeks and save your transfers if you want to stick with the manager you do bring in. Do let us know in the comments below what your first thoughts are on the announcement of the assistant manager chip this week. I know it hasn't been received that well throughout Instagram or Twitter, but to be honest with you, I don't mind the addition of it in the game. It gives us an extra way of scoring points. The only downside is the fact that they haven't given us any extra budget, so I'm going to assume the likes of Slot and Arteta are going to cost 1.5 million, so we're going to have to try and save 1.5 million if you want the likes of those teams and managers to try and get you some win points over your 3 consecutive games when you activate the chip. There's a lot of time anyway between now and Gameweek 24, so all I will say is try and save as many free transfers as you possibly can, as it will be tough enough to save that 1.5 million if you are looking for the likes of Slot or Arteta into your team. Also, come Gameweek 24, the Premier League table is obviously going to look a lot different, so we'll have a better indication on which managers you want to transfer in, especially if you're trying to get some boosted points with the managers ranked in the bottom half of the table. With that explained anyway, let's move on now and have a look at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of this weekend's deadline. So look at my transfer plans ahead of the weekend's games. I've got 3 free transfers to use and I'm looking to use the 3 of them, and most importantly I'm looking to bring Mo Salah back into the team. When I was making that Salah to Saka transfer last week, I always had it in the back of my head that I was going to decide on taking out Haaland or Saka, depending on how well Haaland did again in that Crystal Palace game at the weekend. He only got that 1 goal, and since then, last night, City were beaten in the Champions League by Juventus. There's something not right going on in City, and that means Haaland is finally making way. I should have got rid of him a couple of weeks ago. I've missed out on a lot of points by keeping Haaland, but I can bring in Isak now. I can bring Salah back into the team, and the team will be well set up after that. Isak has got a nice run of fixtures also over the next 2 games, up against Leicester and Ipswich, and also Callum Wilson is set to be sidelined for the next 2 months, so that puts Isak's stocks up even more. He's going to be nailed. He's going to be on penalties definitely, and I do think he will do well over the next couple of game weeks. With Mbeumo as well, he did get that goal and assist last week. It is going to be a parting gift with that haul from Mbeumo, but I'm happy enough to get Mbeumo. Brentford have a difficult run of fixtures over the festive period, and I'm bringing in Salah, who I definitely want back anyway, and I'm happy enough getting Isak back into the team with those fixtures for Newcastle. That's 2 free transfers. Let's move on to my third one. So looking at my third potential transfer, if I do take out Erling Haaland, I can take out Mykolenko and bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold with the money in the bank. Looking at Liverpool's fixtures over the festive period, they have a nice run of fixtures, starting off with Fulham at home this weekend, and they play Leicester at home in 2 game weeks time. So I do think there's going to be good returns from the Liverpool defence over the month of December, and I do think there's going to be a big haul coming from Trent soon. With Mykolenko, if I do take him out, I will be sad to see him go. He's got some good points for me since having him in the team, especially that 11-pointer off the bench for Gabriel during the midweek games, and he also got me a clean sheet against West Ham when I did play him. So will be sad to see him go, but I do think it's the right option, bringing Trent in, especially with those fixtures for Liverpool. So with those 3 free transfers, here's what my current lineup could potentially look like ahead of the weekend's games. As of now, 10 players all playing at home. We do have some question marks around Gabriel and whether or not he is going to be fit for the weekend. Arsenal are the first game on Saturday, so there is a big chance we could get some Arsenal team news, or even to see if Gabriel is in the squad for the weekend's games. If Gabriel isn't in the squad, or if we get an indication of how long he is going to be out for, I could potentially move on Gabriel and bring in Trent and try and save money elsewhere that way. But for now, I'm looking at bringing out Mykolenko and bringing in Trent that route in order to keep Gabriel. Looking at captaincy for the weekend's games, it's a very close call between Mo Salah and Cole Palmer. You could probably even throw Bukayo Saka into the mix, or maybe even Isak, but Palmer and Salah are the 2 standout captains for the weekend's games. I have the armband currently on Salah for now, but I think it's going to be a decision made up until the deadline. Cole Palmer arguably has the easier fixture, especially up against a very weak Brentford defence who are conceding goals for fun. But for now, I've got the captaincy on Mo Salah, but that might change ahead of the deadline on Saturday, so stay tuned for my deadline stream. If you made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video, so head on down there, give the video a like, and if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you at? Head on down there, click subscribe. We're trying to hit 7,250 subs before Christmas. We're just 150 subs off hitting this milestone, so if you are still watching and you're not subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe and support the channel and help me to reach that milestone. I've got my Christmas party on Friday evening, so I'm fairly sure I'm going to be fairly hungover come the deadline on Saturday. But I'm going to make sure I do the deadline stream on Saturday afternoon, so make sure you join me. At least it's a later deadline than usual. I don't have to get up very early. I can have a small bit of a lie-in, but yeah, at least it's a 1:30 for the deadline on Saturday. So make sure you join me, and keep me entertained and try and get over the hangover. Never mind the hangover, I'm going to have a headache anyway on whether or not Gabriel is going to play, so I have to keep an eye on that, whether he's going to be in the squad, and also what transfers I am going to make before the deadline. I'll see you all then, so thanks for watching, best of luck for the week, I'll see you in the next video.